I've got the camera off because I've got a really bad migraine. So I just figure out I come on and see how everybody's doing. It's really windy here in Ohio today. I mean, the wind is like really bad outside. Um, so I'm doing okay. I just have a really bad migraine. Actually, the lights are off. It's almost ready to get nighttime. I couldn't sit outside right now for anything because it would blow me away. And it's actually getting colder. I think they said it was going to snow. Um, I've had a really rough day. I actually tripped over something earlier and I actually slid on the floor. So I'm between the headache and the body pain, I'm just really in good shape. Um, but I wanted to come on, see how everybody's doing. Hi, Fuzz. Welcome on in. And but it's really, really windy outside. I'm going to give you all another day for Dog the Bounty Hunter to enter, and then I'm going to draw that either Sunday or Monday. I'll give you guys the weekend. I'm just not up to tackling that. Like I said, I'm really hurting, and I've got a headache and a migraine. I'm really not trying to complain. Sometimes I really hate fibromyalgia, and this is a day that I'm not liking it at all. It really sucks. So I've been on and off crying kind of all day because I've been hurting so bad. And then, of course, tripping and falling didn't help. I'm here. Ethel Real, welcome on in. You guys can put hashtag blessed in the chat if you like people to connect with your channel. I can't have the camera on right now. I can't have any light on right now. This is just unfortunately what happens. I've been able to tolerate drinking a little bit of water. I had some Coke. I've had Pringles potato chips, which I know are not the greatest, healthiest thing, but the headache's pretty bad. But thought I'd come in and see how everybody's doing. And hopefully everybody's doing well. You did. You made a couple of videos. It's great. I'm going to get back to channel shout outs. Actually, I think it was Fairbrook Studio that said he actually asked people if they wanted a channel shout out. I think I may start doing that over the next little bit. I was thinking of putting a couple posts on that would allow people to just ask if they want one, just to get me restarted back again. I know I've been doing some adventures of Mocha, and I hope people have been enjoying that. Those shorts have gotten like 1,000. Actually, my one that I was talking about being a fog lifter, I need you guys to be a little fog lifter for me today. That got really good views. I knew I needed to go back to doing lives and sitting and crocheting and letting you all connect. Oh, that's wonderful. I've been praying for you. So, I'm just going through some challenges. It's been a rough day. And, sometimes when we go through rough days and patches, we just gotta keep going. I don't know if I have a choice or whether I don't stop. I just keep going. I'm trying to remember what. But I tell you guys to remember to be proud of being you because everyone else is taken. And that's an amazing saying to say. And remind yourself and remind somebody else to keep remembering that. But sometimes there's things that happen that shake you on that. It's a great saying, and thank God, and I am proud to be me. Because I'm an original and everybody else is taken. But sometimes there's things that happen that shake you at that core. Somebody doesn't like this, or you do this, or you didn't do this right, or you didn't do that right. And you feel like yeah, I'm the only one. I'm an original. There's nobody else like me. But could we have died back this, or done this different, or that different, Lord? And so, I can tell you that statement is something that has been in my head all day, on and off. Hey, Alfonso. Because I've had to remember that there's nobody else like me. And that people around me, friends, family, with that statement comes saying to people, listen, I'm who I am, and if you want to get to know me, then sit down and get to know me. See, I have a really big heart. And I will help about anybody. Actually, I will do for others before I take care of my own self. I will do for my family first. I will do for my husband, my daughter, little bean. I will do for my mother. I will do for all that before I do anything for myself. My husband's family, I will do all. But that also comes with something else. See, you have a story. And people, especially those that love you, need to sit down and listen to it. Because my story ain't all pretty. I've made my share of mistakes. Boy, if I have. I've messed up. I've screwed up. I've said the wrong thing. I have dyslexia. Sometimes things come out and it's not the way I meant it. It's not the way I was thinking it in my head, but it's the way it came out. Or I'm too oversensitive. Which somewhere, somehow, on some reel I listened to very recently, and there was something positive about that. They're just wired a certain way. So if you're going to take that proud of being me, because everyone else is taken, and people that may not like who you are, or find you that they don't like this or that, they better sit down and listen to your life story. They better sit down and listen to it. Because there's a reason why you're like you are. There's experiences and things that have happened to you that have shaped you to be the person you are. My first marriage shaped me in a certain way. Things that I had to do to raise my daughter shaped me in a certain way. Fibromyalgia has shaped me in a certain way. Having this YouTube channel has shaped me in a certain way. I do it for my mom. She gets the revenue. You guys can put hashtag blessed in the chat. People to connect with your channel. I've just done it for the connection. But it shaped me. And I think today, people are not always as easy to sit down and say, let me hear your life story. Let me have some compassion and understanding and grace. I don't know about you, but I feel very beaten down right now. over the past little bit, I've really felt as if I just can't do anything right. Just beaten down. Overwhelmed. There's a lot of things to get done. And to some degree, am I doing things that I really wish were done for me when I was carrying my daughter, as I am doing for Christina? Absolutely. I want to do what she wants to do, but I'm doing things that I really wish somebody had done for me. Am I going to be okay? Yeah. I've got friends that do love me and family that loves me and cares about me. And I'll get through it. But see, what people don't realize is when people go through stuff like this, when you are a fibromyalgia patient, I know that the past couple of days, I was thinking of going outside in the rocking chair on Wednesday, but it was just a little chilly out and I just wasn't up to it. And then, I know Thursday, we went out Wednesday in the rocking chair. And the wind would blow you away today. Literally, it would just blow you away. I couldn't step outside for nothing. We went up and saw Christina today. And the wind on the road was really bad. And I was in the back seat with Mocha. That's why I didn't go live. But see, my body is going to really hurt for the next couple of days. Because I try to avoid any kind of emotional stress or emotional anything. Because it is so painful. There's sometimes in life you can't. So if you're someone that is dealing with a fibromyalgia patient and they've gone through something emotionally, they may be really sore the next day and you've got to give them a lot of grace. I figured it was better to come on, even if you can't see my face right now, I'm in the dark, and just let you guys connect than not at all. I don't know if I'm making sense to anybody. I want you guys to stand tall and proud of who you are. Because you are an original. There's nobody else like you. But it doesn't mean you're not going to have days where you really wish you were somebody else. You really wish that you could just trade lives with somebody for one day. I don't know who I trade my life with. I probably want to come back to who I am real quick. I cannot believe how windy it is. Unbelievable. When we were outside at the park, Christina went to the park, the wind sounded like it was just a train coming through. It was so bad. I'm just trying to get to the next day. I think we all are sometimes. Now, I've been watching a lot of not shows, but a lot of things about mansions. I don't know why. It's just because I've wanted to get this blanket done. That needs to get done. It's one of the shower gifts. And I've been watching a lot about different mansions. Just because it's interesting to learn about the history behind the person that lived in them. I always like going through small towns and looking at houses, wondering the story in that old house. And every one I've listened to, it wasn't all happy times behind those big doors. There was illness. There was people that were not true to each other. There was arguments. There was unhappiness. There was depression. It wasn't totally beauty. It looked beautiful from the outside. I actually was listening to the daughter of Post, which is, I forgot what his first name was. I think her name was Catherine Post. And that's the one that did the cereal. And I was listening to her story, and she was married and divorced 4 times, similar to my grandmother. And her story, as fascinating, I create and relate, as fascinating as it was, I have a migraine, that's why the camera's not on. You can put hashtag blessed in the chat, and it'll pull up your channel. I listened to her story. It was fascinating. She had more money and wealth I could ever imagine. But I think she had struggles within her life. She had husbands that weren't true to her. She had a grandson that passed away. She had struggles. She had difficulties. See, when we look and we go buy houses, depending on what they look like, I know I've done it. Oh, that's a pretty home. But there could be a lot of issues behind those doors. Actually, I listened to the story of Sam Walton, or Walt, the owner of Walmart. He actually was worth a lot, but he built a very modest home because he wanted to remember the simple things in life. Hopefully y'all can hear me. The phone slipped out of my hands. Let me know if y'all can hear me. I'm going to put some cream on my hands because they're all very dry. It's very windy and dry outside. Let me know if you can hear me. Put 1 in the chat if you can. Because the phone slipped. I don't know. I hope that... Thank you. I think we have to remember that we have people that go through rough times. I think it's been somewhat of an encouragement to listen to stories of triumph in adversity. difficulty going through stuff. And yet they come out the other end stronger and wiser than they went in before. I don't know if I'm going to be on tomorrow. We'll see how I feel after today. Today's been a bit of a doozy. We'll see how I feel. And there may be some times, depending as the weather gets warmer, where I just may take this camera outside and just put it towards the lake and just have you guys listen to the birds and be quiet. I want so much, not for me, but for you all, for this channel to grow. For you guys to connect with others to see your growth. And see, that's me doing that thing again. Where I'm making sure everybody else gets taken care of before I do. That's something I've done my entire life. I look around to help other people before I help myself. See, at the core of yourself, you got to say, I'm proud of being who I am. You got to stand in that truth. And fearfully and wonderfully made, you got to stand in that truth. Knowing that sometimes the boat may be rocked. Knowing that no matter what, there's going to be people and things that are going to happen that people aren't going to like, your loved ones are not going to like, because at the core, you're who you are. I'm just trying to get through today. So how is everybody else's day doing? This isn't a very exciting live. This is somewhat depressing. I don't know about you, but I'm kind of getting depressed. I'm not trying. I just know myself right now. I know I better get connected someplace because it'll be better than not. See, when we're not connected with something, we don't have the friendships and the community, you know what happens? We start spiraling in a way that's not good. See, I know that about myself. I can really go down a really bad rabbit hole if I allow myself to. And it's never good. It's actually the worst thing that I can do. I was always the loner in school that liked Elvis Presley. And I want to see that epic that's coming out. I want to see what footage he all of a sudden magically found. I'll let you all know. I did not like the guy who did the guy who's doing the Elvis epic thing. I did not like his story of Elvis, by the way. And Michelle, Michael, I'm sorry. Thank you. I've got a migraine. That's why I don't have the camera on right now. I'm dealing with a headache. But I think we have to realize when we go down in a spiral, we're having a rough day, and we don't like who we are, or we have people feel as if who we are is pretty lousy of a person. We better find somewhere to get connected. Because we could get ourselves dug in such a ditch that we don't ever want to be connected with anything or any community. It's really easy to get there. Every time you shovel something out, you're just digging a bigger hole. I don't know if you've ever felt this way, but I feel right now like I'm on a slide or a wall that I just can't get my grip on. Every time I get a little bit and I climb a little bit, I get knocked down a little bit. By one thing or another. See, we all go through these struggles. What I'm sitting here doing with the camera off is what I'm doing in my head. Not all of it, but some of it. We all do this. Do we go live or videotape it? No. Probably wouldn't be a bad idea if we started doing it and listening back to it and saying, that was really foolish for you to think that way. But some of the things that I'm saying is stuff that I'm sure is going through your head too. See, the focus is never the person on camera. It's always in the chat. That's where it's the important, because you guys are connecting with each other. I never thought this channel, and I did it for soul connection. Mama gets the revenue for it. I never thought this channel would get above 1,000. Actually, I never thought it'd get above 100, let alone 500, let alone 1,000, let alone get monetized. YouTube makes you hit that $100 threshold before they'll pay out. And I can't tell you when the times when that $100 has come through for Mama has made just the little bit of difference in our family. She's been able to get a pair of shoes, 2 pair of shoes with that, or she can pay a bill with that. That little bit that comes through from people watching our stuff and watching our videos or memberships or whatever it is makes such a huge difference. And one day, my mom can't leave here till she's 150. I hope that I can take this and give it to my daughter and let that little bit of income that comes in, it doesn't happen every month, help her and her family in some way. See, again, it's not about me. It's about making sure I help the people that I love around me. So again, you guys have until Sunday night to do Dog the Bounty Hunter, and I promise on Monday I will draw that. I've just been really struggling, guys. I haven't been able to do it. It's really easy. I should be able to do the video. I should be able to edit. I need to finish the Advent series. I've got the blankets to finish. I've got the soap caddies to do. Z, welcome on in. Thank you very much. That'll go right to Mama. That's very appreciative. Thank you for the gems. I'm just thankful for you guys and this community. I'm telling you. When I've been struggling, this community has been here for me. And I'll never forget how much this community came together. So when my aunt was dying of cancer, you guys got her up here so I could give her a hug one more time before she passed away. That's something that I can never, ever extend enough gratitude for. Never enough. I fell apart today, and I think some of it was thinking about her. I don't think I've begun to even grieve over her. I think I'm starting though. I thought of my dad today. Actually, I was listening to Elvis's How Great Thou Art that came across and started crying. Connection doesn't fix everything, guys. It doesn't fix everything. But it sure helps. It keeps you grounded when you're having a rough day. That's for sure. You guys can put hashtag blessed in the chat if you want people to connect with your channel. I hope you all have been enjoying the little Mocha adventures. I know they're AI driven. And I'm going to put up a post, I think, to see what other people would like Mocha to do. I know it's AI oriented, but they've gotten some really good views. Those shorts, like 1,000, they've just been really cute. They've been fun to do. So I hope you all have been enjoying them. I have to keep saying to myself, Mary, be proud of being who you are, because everyone else is taken. Like I said, I feel like I'm on a wall trying to climb up, and I just get up a little bit and then I get smacked down. Because I'm trying to do something good for someone else, and I didn't do it right, or I shouldn't have done this, or I shouldn't have done that. Not major stuff, but just little stuff. I think in life, there are sometimes we feel like we've just been beat down. And that's when we got to have our fog lifters. If anybody knew what that was about, a couple days ago, we had, I think it was Monday, we could not see across our pond. The fog was very thick, and I went outside and I said, okay, be that fog lifter for somebody. Be that ray of sunshine for somebody. Let them know how wonderful of a person they are. And if I was your fog lifter that day, I'm so happy. I just want the best for everybody. I love the fact that I have friends and a community that I've worked really hard to build. It has not been easy by any stretch of the means. Doing this is not easy. But for someone that has fibromyalgia and has chronic pain, sometimes the days are really hard to go out into the world. And so when I can't do that, at least I know where I can go to make sure that I'm surrounded by a community that I know loves and cares about the Blessed Crochet crew. But I'm going to say it till the day I take my last breath, which I hope is anytime soon. Be proud of being you, because everyone else is taken. And sometimes you have to say it out loud and to somebody over and over again till it resonates within that head of yours. And sometimes as friends, we better take away the shovel they're digging their hole with, of all the negative stuff they could pile on. I'm this, I'm that, I'm this. You need to take their shovel away and help to lift them out of the hole. Are you somebody today that has dug a hole of all the things that you really don't like about yourself, that makes you feel like you are worthless? And if you have, I'm the one taking away the shovel to say you better stand tall and proud. And you better be proud of who you are, because you're amazing, you're spectacular, you're wonderful, you're talented. You're fearfully and wonderfully made if you believe down the line of that line, of believing in the Lord. See, when we remember that if you believe that direction, that God doesn't make mistakes, then you know you're not a mistake. I guess I need people today to be my fog lifter. Because right now I can't see outside of who I am. I can't see very far today. That song I created that I have to put out really says it all. When your eyes are heavy, you need to be that ray of sunshine for somebody. And if I didn't hurt on top of everything, it wouldn't be so bad. But the fact that I hurt, doesn't help. And the fact that I know the next couple of days I'm going to be hurting, doesn't help. If you have a phone, and you may sit there thinking, this is nutty. Maybe you don't have a YouTube channel to go live on. It's okay. Just take your phone and start talking into it. If you don't have a friend to call, take the phone and start talking into it. Whatever's in your head, do it. You may not be able to listen to it after you get done. It may take you the next day before you listen, but you sit and listen to yourself. Because here's the thing that we need to remember. How we talk to ourselves, I wouldn't allow someone else to talk to themselves like that. Like, I wouldn't put up with somebody saying to themselves they're worthless. So why am I going to allow myself to say that to my own self? So if you don't have a friend that's available to call, take out your phone, voice text it, voice record it, video, do it. Just start talking into it. And then listen back at it and say, no, you're not allowed to talk to yourself like that. So I think we forget sometimes that we shouldn't be doing that. We shouldn't let other people do that either. Not that anybody's doing that, by the way. They're not. But there are people that ruminate. I know I tend to ruminate. And they tend to go and go and go and go. Then before you know it, you're just putting yourself in such a deep hole, it's not even funny. Can I encourage everybody? If you have a loved one, I don't care who it is to you, and you're struggling with a relationship, or you find that you wish they do this or that or something, sit down and ask to hear their life story. You may already have heard it, but I'm telling you, sit down and listen to their life story. It may take you a couple hours, but listen to it intently. Listen to it with compassion. Let them do it through all the tears in the world. It may take multiple times for you to listen to their story, or it may take a part 1 and part 2. Why am I telling you to do that? Because their life story has shaped them for who they are. See, my dad, I loved my dad, but my dad was verbally abusive a lot to me. Thankfully, not to Christina. But I had to listen to him. I didn't necessarily listen to him, but I looked at his past to realize that at 6 years old, his father had given up rights to him, and my grandfather, which was my grandmother's second or third husband, had adopted my dad, and my biological grandfather just left. My dad felt abandoned. And there was things that went on, and my dad moved. They moved from Maryland to Daytona, and he was ripped away from his grandparents that he was so close to. It was such a cornerstone. And so when I understood why, or what that happened, or what that did to my dad, I understood some of his insecurities, his behaviors, the reason he was so angry, why he felt abandoned by his father, why he acted a lot of the ways he did, when I really truly got that. So there's things about your backstory that have shaped you. If you were a child, you most likely, if your mother or father are still living, can I encourage you to sit down and listen to their story? I mean, really sit down and listen to it. Listen to their struggles. Listen to their pain. Let them cry their tears. If you get married, sit down and understand your in-laws' story. Do the same thing with your parents. Because there's going to be a day when they're not here. And their story matters. Just like I realized in my 30s and 40s, the reason my dad did a lot of what he did was because that little 6-year-old boy that never grew up, felt abandoned, was never felt like he was loved, and felt as if, what did I do to make my daddy go away? See, that wouldn't be allowed in today's world, but it was allowed then. My dad had his heart ripped out. Changing out a father wasn't as easy as just, here's one dad to another. He lost something when all that happened. And he didn't have a stable grandmother because my grandmother was mentally ill. I had to understand that to understand my dad. But when I needed my dad, boy, he was there. He showed up, even though we really had a very rough years. But sit down and understand their story. We all have stories. And I think that it's a shame that we have people in our lives that have not sat down and really listened to our story. Did things in my life change who I am? Absolutely. Did a chronic illness, my fibromyalgia, change who I am? Absolutely. A very different girl than I was even 10 years ago. Even without the fibromyalgia, I'm still changed. Does fibromyalgia change you? Absolutely. You're exhausted a lot of the times. You're fighting a battle that you did not ask to be a part of. So thank you for listening to this. I don't know what it is. Hopefully you all were able to connect with each other. And I'll be back. I don't know if it's going to be tomorrow. I don't know where I'll be tomorrow or how I'll feel. I know I have you all as the community, and I'm very grateful. Beyond grateful. I'm going to try to go get something to eat because I haven't been able to eat all day long. I don't think Pringles, potato chips, and milkshake is substantial nutrition, but it's the only thing that I've been able to hold down. But y'all, please be proud of being who you are. You are an original. Everyone else is taken. There is nobody else that can be like you. Please sit down, take a moment, whether it's a family member or a friend, and listen to their story, their backstory, understanding who they are, and accepting who they are. Because it works both ways. We have to accept others. They have to accept us too. If you don't have a friend to call, turn on your phone and just start talking into it. And then if you can't handle listening back to it that same day, take a couple of days, but then re-listen to it. Talk to yourself like you would have a friend talk to you and say, you're not allowed to talk to yourself like that. Will I be able to listen to this in a little bit? Probably not. Maybe tomorrow I will be able to and say, girl, get with it. But please don't doubt how wonderful you are, how worth it you are, how worthy you are, how special and amazing and beautiful and wonderful, fearfully and wonderfully made. How blessed we are that you're a part of Blessed to Crochet, and if you haven't, please connect with us. I'm going to ask my community to do a favor for me, please. If there's stuff that you haven't seen or watched, if you can go back, please, and just watch it so we can just keep those watch hours rolling and let the ads run through. That would help too as well. We'd appreciate that. Hi, Indigo. How you doing? Put hashtag blessed in the chat if you want people to connect with your channel. I'm dealing with a migraine, but I wanted to see how everybody else was doing, and I thought I'd come on live. And I've just had a rough day. We were driving home, and I looked at the field. There was no place to pull over to take a picture of it or a video of it. But there was a huge There was a bunch of birds on this field because, of course, all the snow's melted. They must have been hungry. Thank you. Hungry. And they were all, I mean, if there was one bird, there was had to be 200 of them all at once. And it was pretty spectacular to see them. And of course, it's been very windy today. And so the wind has just been unbelievable. I don't really think that we do enough. I think we do a lot of we're not, some of us, not all of us, I guess, but some of us are not the greatest at reaching out when we just need to talk. Or we just need to be listened to. Sometimes we hold it all in and then we just think we can handle it. But that's what community is for. That's why this channel was built, so that nobody ever felt like they were alone or suffering in silence when they were struggling with anything. I've gone through that too much in my lifetime, where I have gone through stuff and I've had nobody. I didn't want anybody else going through that. Doesn't need to happen. That's for sure. And I think too often it does, more than I think we should allow it. Being friends with somebody doesn't mean you have to agree with everything. You need to accept who they are. Not trying to change them. See, we can change. There's things about myself I can work on. I'm still under construction. But our core of who we are at the core, that ain't changing. I remember Elvis being asked, because somebody was asking about, being a poor boy from Mississippi. And he was talking about the image. And he said the image is very hard to keep up to. Can't live up to an image. You can't be somebody you're not. Believe me, I love my mother tremendously. There's things I'd love for her to change. But she's who she is. I don't know. I thought about it today. I thought, who would I change my life with for just a day? I don't know if there's anybody I would. I'd like to start doing some lives on some of these mansions that I've learned about, some history, because I think it's really important for people to realize it's not about the wealth in the pocketbook. It's about the wealth inside of you. It's been really interesting, and it's kept my focus as I'm trying to get these blankets done for the shower. And you're probably not going to hear me mention too much about all that right now. I've been asked to just pull back a little bit on that, and I will honor that, like I said, from day one. they're going to be the parents. And so whatever they ask me to do, I will respect. Of course, I'll keep you all updated as best I can. Everybody's doing just fine. We'll get through this, but we're going to get through it as a community. So like I said, I'm going to put a post out asking people if they want shout outs so I can get that rolling again. Because I haven't done that. I need to do that. So we'll start that up March 1st or whenever the first Monday is in March. And we'll start fresh on the channel shout outs and everything and the recaps. And I'm going to start back on the Blessing Through Connection channel. There may be some times where I'm just going live and letting you enjoy the birds in the lake and letting you just chit chat and everything like that and just being quiet. When I'm just having a rough day or when I just need for that to be there, because I really want you guys I really want you guys to connect with each other and help each other grow. And I want this channel to grow too. And people that are just coming in, it is just so important to be connecting with each other and making those connections and growing. It is so important. And I'm going to put a post out too about the dog, the bounty hunter. And I know I'm like 20 days old on that one that needs to be drawn, but we're going to draw that, I think, on Monday. I'll give you guys the weekend. Just seems like when I think about doing that, then something else comes up and I get sidetracked and I don't get back to it. And I really wanted to do a post. I'll let you all know that you had a couple more days, but I will do a post so you guys know you do. But we're going to keep moving forward. We're going to rise above. This channel is always going to be here as a place of connection. Why? Because it is so important. We have to stay connected, even when you don't feel like it. You have to stay connected, guys. So I'm going to try to go eat something. Mom made some tea. I'm going to go have some tea, and I'm going to see if I can eat something else other than Pringles and something. I know that wasn't the best, but it was the best thing I could do so I could get my medication that would help kind of subside this a little bit down. And thank you all for listening. Thank you for the gems tonight. I appreciate it. And thank you for allowing me to just talk. I'm not saying it totally helped. I think the headache and everything in my body hurts real bad. But I sat here almost an hour ago and I thought, you're digging yourself, Mary, in a hole you've got to get out of. Take the shovel, put it aside, and get on and connect. Even if to nobody else it makes any sense, even if the camera is not on, get on there and connect and just talk. And if it doesn't make any sense or jibble jabber or whatever it is, then you can erase it later. But maybe it made sense to somebody tonight. If somebody hasn't told you today, be proud of being you. Because there's nobody else like you. You are an amazing individual. You're loved, you're cared for, you're spectacular, you're talented, you're beautiful. We have you covered. You certainly all have us covered, and we appreciate it. Again, if you could go back and watch some things maybe you haven't watched before, let the ads run, we would just appreciate that. We still have to keep our watch hours there, not that they're in any danger, but any of that would be just a help and a boost. We're over 2,100 by 4 people, so just let's keep that rolling and keep crocheting that connection. There is no crochet hook required. Just connect. Connect with community. And thank you all from the bottom of my heart, being the best and the most spectacular part of Blessed to Crochet. You are our blessing. And we're tremendously grateful for all that you do, the connection, the friendship, the members, all of that. Thank you from the bottom of our hearts. I'm not saying that. I hope I'm saying that sincerely and really how grateful I am. I will never have enough gratitude for that, especially the gratitude you extended to my mom and my daughter and my aunt. You all made that possible for her to come and give her that one last hug. And I'm forever grateful. So thank you all from the bottom of my heart. My bottom of my heart. Thank you for being my friend when I feel like I didn't deserve to have any friends. And if you feel as if you don't deserve to have friends, don't allow yourself to lie to yourself, because you deserve it. And people need to love you for who you are. Because if they would sit down and listen to your story, they may find some really beautiful gems underneath all that. I love you all. Again, we'll see how I'm feeling tomorrow. Sometimes when I go through these really bad headaches and so forth, my body hurts a lot the next day, so we'll see how I feel. But anyway, love y'all. We'll talk to you later. Have a great night, everybody. Stay connected. Bye-bye, everybody. Love y'all.